Tomorrow I am leaving for VidCon, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm packing in my bag to take with me, and it's kind of like just kind of explain the tools that I use when I go and shoot at a conference. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and welcome to Video Creators. This channel is all about helping you create amazing channels that will grow and reach people and impact their lives. And this is what I've got going on here. What I'll do is I'll take you through each of the pieces I have laid out here. I don't always take all of this, but I'll kind of explain what my thought process is and why I have the gear that I have. So first of all, this is my Panasonic GH5S, and this is what I've been shooting most interviews on and the creator stories that you've been seeing me do, because it shoots in 4K and does a good job in low light. Of course, you gotta have the battery charger and tons of extra SD cards. There's nothing worse than shooting and then running out of space and then not being able to finish the shoot that you're doing. The lenses I take with this, I have a wide angle, very wide angle, 12mm lens, and this is so that I can get very close to the camera, and it also has a very fast lens. Aperture is 1.4, so it's great in like dark hotel rooms and convention floors and things like that. This is the one if I need to get a little tighter and I want to zoom in on something. This is a 35mm lens, and it has image stabilization built in, so I'm doing handhelds. This is usually the one I use. These are neutral density filters, and I found that if I'm shooting outside ever at an event, these things are so important, because I like to have some shallow depth of field to kind of blur out all the distractions of everyone who's walking around behind us, and just there's a lot of stuff going on at a convention. If you go outside, there's too much light coming in to really get that depth of field. It's like sunglasses for your lens is what it is. It lets less light go in so you can get the depth of field that you want. So I got one of those for each lens, and then a microfiber cloth to clean it so you don't have any smudges on it. As far as audio is concerned, I am bringing this shotgun mic, Rode NTG3, and all links to all this stuff will be down in the description of this video if you want to check it out. This is a great mic, very isolating, gets like a really good full range. When you see me sitting on the couch right here, that's usually the mic that I'm using. If you're sitting outside though, you can see the diaphragms are kind of exposed and you'll get like a lot of the wind noise in the audio, and so that's why I bring this wind muff, little screen filter, and then have this, it's called a dead cat. I know it's kind of morbid, but that's what it's called. And it goes on top and just stills all the air that around the diaphragms of the microphone so that you get good clean audio without like wind coming in. Of course, you need a cable to connect it, and here's the shock mount that sits in, which connects to this little device, which is connects on the top of my camera here, and then it has the XLR inputs over here, which is where the microphone plugs into. But I also have these two handheld microphones. These are Shure SM58s, just good old, really heavy duty ones, and two cables for those. And I take handheld mics to conventions because at convention floors is really, really loud, and there's a lot going on, and if I was using the shotgun mic, it would do a good job of picking up our voices, but you would also get a lot of other noise going on around. These handheld mics right here, these things do an amazing job at, if you hold them really close, of only picking up your voice. It's almost like everything else around you is silent. So if I'm in a really noisy, crowded situation and I want to quick interview someone, or need to capture an interview, or do a man on the street, or do something, these, or like a hotel lobby or wherever, these things are perfect for that. So I bring those for that. Now this is a gimbal. It's gonna look a little bit weird because it's not turned on right now, but this is basically what I use for stabilization with the Panasonic GH5S. And that's what I use to capture B-roll. Especially this trip, I'm going to be doing a lot of like storytelling type of stuff, which you guys have seen here lately. I'm excited to shoot one of those. And when you're doing like a sit-down interview, you don't really need that as much. But when you're capturing a lot of behind-the-scenes shots, and you're getting supporting shots and contextualized shots and things like that, establishing shots, those are like a gimbal. Just get that really smooth look and just make it feel professional. That's what that is. Now I'm also bringing these little guys. These things are amazing. They're relatively inexpensive. It's a lapel microphone, that I use, and I have 3 of these that I use. It just records the audio straight on the device here, it's a little recorder. So there's no wireless interference I have to worry about, and I can just hit record. They go for like 10 hours on one little AAA battery, which is my extras right there, and onto a little micro SD card, and it's amazing. So I got 3. I can clip one onto each person who's talking, and then get good audio even if they're a little bit further away from the camera than on another person, or if I need to like cut one person out or something like that, I can do that a lot more easily that way. And then these are wind muffs / dead cats, whatever you want to call them, for the lapels in case we're shooting outside. Now, good lighting is essential, right? So this is a nice flat little panel. Here, I'll turn it on so you guys see. And I got 2 batteries that go in it too, and I love this thing. Turn it on, you can adjust like the brightness, and you can also adjust the temperature, and woo, it's bright. And so that, let me turn that off. That goes into this, which is a stand that I have for it. Let me set it up for you. Just like this. And it gets pretty tall. It's about, you know, stand up right here so you can see kind of how tall it is. It comes up to about my chest or so. And whenever you're shooting, it's important that you have good lighting. And so sometimes I use this just as like fill, like if I'm in a really dark place and I just need like a key light. Sometimes I put it behind for a backlight. Maybe sometimes I compensate like a really bright window that's giving like a lot of shadow across. You know, we try to shoot with the natural light as best as we can, but sometimes just having that is a lifesaver. And it collapses down really small, which you saw, which is great. This is a great card, just used for setting the white balance. There is a noticeable difference when you're like opposed to using auto white balance. It just kind of guesses. I like setting it manually, locking it in. The color tones and everything are just far better, so it's worth taking that. That wraps up real tight and small, which is great. This is my traveling tripod, and it gets real small too. Let me show you how it looks like when it's expanded. You can see it comes up like right up to like my face with the camera on here. It's like perfect height, and so it gets really small. And the thing I like about this one is that it is sturdy. It's not like some of these other travel ones I've had where it says it's supposed to support the weight of your camera, but it's really wobbly and shaky, and you're like, is that gonna blow over? This is like super solid. So I love this travel tripod. Now this is a Canon G7X Mark II, which is the same camera I'm using right here. I have a few of these. And I love this for vlogging because it has like a flip up screen. I actually have a full review of this, which I can link down below, or a card will pop up around here. It's decent in low light because it has a good fast aperture of 1.8. It's small enough I can just fit it right into my pocket. The audio on it, I mean, what you're listening to right now is the audio from a duplicate of the same camera, and I have a little wind muff on top again for when I'm outside, just to still the air so that around the diaphragm of the microphone, so you don't get the like, you know, the wind noise in it. And I like this because I can quickly, spontaneously pull this out of my pocket, whether shoot an interview or tell a story that just needs to be a little bit more discreet with the camera. But that's my go-to vlogging camera. And then I also have my DJI Spark drone. I usually don't travel with my drone, but I am this one because the story I want to tell with you guys is about a cool guy that you're going to meet here, and we're going to be doing some cool shots down in Hollywood, and we need some establishing shots and some transition shots. We storyboard those whole videos, and so we need some drone footage for that. And it's small enough, you know, it's like the size of my hand, that'll be very indiscreet. Discreet, and not, and a lot of people just, you know, won't think anything of it. And if you're wondering what in the world I'm gonna pack all this stuff in, this is the bag I'm currently using, and I do really like it. And I'll put a link to this down below too. It's made to kind of hold my iPad Pro right in there, which is convenient, and I like that I can strap on my like my stand and my tripod on either side, and then it all the gear kind of fits in the back here. And so this is the back of it, so it makes it pretty secure. If you're wearing it, someone just can't come and like rip it off your back and steal your stuff. And it's got like pretty much all the compartments I need. Let me fill it up and show you guys what it looks like when everything's in here. Got it all packed up. So I got the one stand over here for the light. I got my tripod strapped in over here. Everything fit into the back here, and so I still have the front wide open for like my iPad and tickets and brochures and like meeting conference stuff and notes and papers. And so and it even has a spot I'm not even using where I could connect. There's a tripod connection right here where you can strap it right on the back here too with some straps. Now the thing that didn't make it into this bag, which is on purpose, well, half on purpose and half because this is full, but I got my drone and I'll take the propellers off and store those separately, but I don't want this in the bag because I don't want that thing getting knocked around too much, and that can just go with it. This is gonna be in my pocket for when I'm vlogging like my way out there and things like that for my family's channel, so I'll have that on me. And then this also is a little bit big for this bag, the gimbal, and so that will just be packed safely and neatly in my actual suitcase. Now you might not need to take this much stuff. I mean, I do know some creators who take far more than this, but you just take what you need for the style of content you're going to create. And for me, I'm creating several different styles and creating vlogs out there and creating some good cinematic story narrative based interviews where we're telling a creator's story, and then I'm also doing like regular sit down interviews as well. And so I have like several different styles I gotta account for, but I have found that take the minimum you can get away with because traveling's easier. There's less things you can get lost or stolen, less things that can go wrong, and it just makes a whole like less things you have to carry on you and stress about and things. So sometimes all I take is like one of these cameras, these vlogging cameras, and I just call it good and do everything on that. But this is a pretty big event, so I'm gonna take some other things. Also remember, before you leave, to make sure all of your batteries are charged. I learned it the hard way. I'm probably gonna unpack this actually right now and get all my batteries out and plug them in so they're all fresh and ready to go. But I wanna hear what you guys recommend taking it to events. And if you wanna learn more about the process my team goes through to edit these videos for you after I get back from the events with all the photos, click right here, tap that video. Other people from my team are in that video with me. We're just walking through the entire process of how a video gets made here. So subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys over in that next video. See you there.